Knock, knock, the mummers are here. Will you let us in to bring you good cheer? From her round by our Dunstan and across Dolan's Hill, along Mullock by Lake, I can hear the bark still. From around by our Dunstan and across Dolan's Hill, along Mullock by Lake, I can hear the bark still. The blood-curdling barks of that mad yelping dog. I'm quite sure he could be heard around Cornwallian Bog. We ran through the Glen and on to Keeldren, and we'll take to the hills if you don't let us in. Room, room, my gentle boys, give me room to rhyme. I'll show you some activity in this quiet time. These acts that we engage were never acted on the stage. And if you don't believe me, enter, tall and smart, and he'll surely show the way.
In comes I with tall and smart, and tell my mind with all my heart. The sword you see, is shining bright, will fight for you both noon and night. And before I make a swing with the sword, I sing a little song for you, for ye. It was on a dreary New Year's Day, as the shadows of night came down. A laddie load of volunteers approached the bar our town. There was men from Dublin and from Cork, Fermanagh and Tyrone, and the leader was a Limerick man, son south from Garryowen. And as they went along the street up to the barracks door, to scorn the danger, they would meet the fate that lay in store. They were fighting for all Ireland's cause, to claim their very own. Another martyr for all Ireland was south from Galway. And if it's live, I sing and say, enter Harry Mary.
In comes I, the hairy woman of the bridge. Olden and Farley once found me in the ditch. They put me by the fire and tried to make me talk. Bigger fools were they, with their shivering and their squawking, for I was going nowhere until the cock did crow. And where I went to after then, nobody will ever know. And if you don't believe a word I say, here comes Jack Straw to lead the way.
Here am I, Jack Straw, a man you never saw. Through a rock and through a reed, through an old spinning wheel, through a bag of pepper and an old mill hopper. And if you don't believe what I say, enter Beelzebub and he'd clear the way.
Here comes I beyond the bubbles, and on the mahana carry me cloak, and in mahana frying pan, and amadai a charlie old beggar man. Here, if you don't believe what I say, here comes cheeks and reels and cheeks the other way.
Jigs and reels. My breeches tight, my garters drag me down. First comes Christmas, then comes spring. And I'm the jolliest little lad that can either dance or sing. You! And she'll lead the way.
Here comes I, little Jenny Wren, up with the kettle, down with the pan. And if you don't believe a word I say, give me a penny to bury them. If you don't believe a word I say, here comes Father Christmas.
My old Father Christmas, old bells toll. Be there, cake in your larder and sheep in your fold, a fire on the hearth and a good luck for your lot. Money in your pocket and a pudding in your pot. And if you don't believe me, here comes Krampus and he leads the way.
I am Krampus, here comes I. You better not shout, you better not cry. Be sure you're not naughty this year. Well, Christmas is coming quite near. There will be no toys for Valentine's, and Santa will never appear. But when you're asleep in your bed, me, Krampus, is coming instead. Then from the North Pole, you only get cold. And many sad tears you will shed. And if you don't believe a word I say, enter Dr. Smiley.
Here comes I, Dr. Smiley, from Drumreilly. I am rated very highly. I can cure the itch, the stitch, the palsy, or the gout. I can cure pains inside and pains outside. I can cure your wife of a headache, or your husband of a bloody bellyache. I can cure anything conceivable, and my rates are very reasonable. Now, if you want any more, then the best thing you can do is go to Sean Burke in Ballinamore. I have lotions and potions for all sorts of commotions. And if you don't believe me, then enter fiddly-dee, fiddly-do.
Here comes I, fiddly Bobby. God made bees and God made honey. God made us, God loves us, and we love money. So if you don't believe me, good year, here comes.
Here am I, Mrs. Goodyear. I have came to prepare a spell for everybody here. So, just to make sure that you all have good health and good cheer. So, gather up and never fear. The splash of the water, the splash of kinking water from the lakes, black and white. The grass from Stranraer, mixed with grass from Stranraer, and peat from Corwallian Bog, and plucked from the entomb in the full moon the hair of a dog. So, Drumdiffer, Drumcowra, Drerigowan, Killamine, Corla, Carrickmckeegan, Kilmore, Cricking, Corlahan, County, all mixed together with white rock from Derrygowan, and on and on and on and on and on. Let's listen to a Drumreilly.
On and on and on.
And let's listen to a Drumreilly exile song.
Last night in a dream of days long ago, I returned to the place of my birth. A humble wee spot at the foot of a hill in the most hallowed place upon earth. I first bade farewell many decades ago, and to far foreign climes did I stray. But none could compare with that sweet cherished spot in Drumreilly, so far, far away. My dream took me back to the evenings I spent on the wall at the bridge of Ahoo, where I listened to tales neath the shade of the trees and courted a sweet Colleen too. Carrotowis and white rocks I met once again, where youth mingles gaily with age. I heard the smith's anvil in the little thatched forge and the chug of the old narrow gauge.
That's it from the mummers. We hope we brought you cheer. And from Drumreilly Active Age, we wish you a happy new year.
To the school at Drumdiffer I then made my way, and lingered a while at its gate. And I relived again those days of my youth, where I wrote my first letters on slate. The hills over Gubbs, they were basking in sun, Shunadara and sweet Kinkeen too. Drumcowra, Crooklan and Derry go on, mingled green with the lake sapphire blue. And at Nowlan's Cross my old friends gathered round, recalling those evenings in June, when we played pitch and toss neath the tall poplar tree and danced in the light of the moon. In Carrickmckeegan I saw once again the kiln and the full carts of lime. Our Dunsinane fair, with its feet in the lake, and Kilmore seemed to prosper with time. Came a feeling sublime, 'twas heaven to me, as I stood at the church in Drumreilly. And over the road, on my dear parents' grave, I knelt by a tombstone to pray. God rest you, dear mother, I will never more feel your soft kiss so warm on my cheek. And oh, Father dear, those words of advice, no more on this earth will you speak. My eyes were still moist and dim with the tears as I took the road left by the hall, where we danced reels and jigs when the world was young and the cares of this life they were small. And through Mullaboy, as I wended my way, I discovered that time had stood still. For yonder at Graham's, by the banks of a stream, they were still grinding corn in the mill. And Keildren recalled the days of the hunt, when the fox through the woods nimbly ran, and the beagles were baying in red-hot pursuit through the thickets and streams of the glen. And in Carrawallion I paused to salute the feats of the volunteers' band, who encountered the British at Gaffney's gate and struck freedom's blow for this land. And Crickeen and Toom and Mullaghmore too, with your people there's none can compete. I worked at your mahels and I danced in your barns, where the music was lively and sweet. The evening was grey when I reached Darn School, Drumconleven was peaceful and still, and the lamps they were lighted in old Carrala as they laboured up Killameen Hill. Through Gartahoose Fair and Old Ahalock and at Ardra my tour was o'er. 'Twas then I awoke to discover, alas, that my trip was a dream and no more. God keep you, Drumreilly, I hope to return to your green hills and blue lakes sublime. For love it still burns in this old exile's heart, to remain to the end of my time.
Have you a film in that outfit?